I'm 109 years old. I didn't think I'd ever say that out loud, and I didn't think it would sound this heavy when I did. Most of the people who knew the younger version of me are gone now. My wife, my brothers, friends I once thought I'd grow old alongside. Some mornings I wake up and it feels strange that I'm still here when so many better people aren't. I'm not telling this because I'm proud of living this long. I'm telling it because when you reach this age, you realize how little time you ever actually had and how much of it you spent assuming there would be more. People ask me what my secret is. They want something impressive, something rare, some hidden trick. I don't have one. I never did. What I have are 5 very simple foods. Ordinary things, things I didn't even think about when I was young. I didn't eat them to live longer. I ate them because at some point, everything else started falling apart. Right now, I sit in a small room with a window that faces the same tree I've been looking at for 15 years. I've outlived my strength, my sharp memory, and most of my hearing. Time feels different now, slower but heavier. Every day feels like borrowed space. When I was younger, my 20s, 30s, I didn't think about food at all. I worked. That was my identity. I woke up early, came home tired, and ate whatever was put in front of me. Meat, bread, sugar, coffee. Lots of coffee. We thought being busy meant being responsible. I had a good job, not glamorous, stable. I wore the same kind of shirts every day. I came home expecting dinner to be ready, not because I was cruel, but because that's what everyone around me did. No one questioned it. My wife cooked. She always did. She paid attention to what I liked. I didn't pay attention to how tired she looked doing it. I told myself I was doing the right thing, providing, being dependable. Those words mattered a lot back then. The damage didn't come all at once. It never does. It came quietly, a little weight gain, then joint pain, then a doctor saying my numbers were a bit concerning. Nothing urgent, nothing scary enough to change. I missed things, not big dramatic moments, small ones. Conversations I said I'd have later. Walks I postponed. I told myself there would be time when work slowed down. It never really did. The turning point wasn't heroic. It wasn't sudden. I collapsed one afternoon in the kitchen, not from pain, from weakness. My legs just gave up. I remember the sound my wife made when she saw me on the floor, not screaming, just tired fear, like she'd been expecting something like this for years. That was when the doctor told me plainly my body was worn out, not broken, just neglected, slowly, over decades. They changed my medications. They talked about exercise. But what really changed things were the foods my wife started putting in front of me. Not fancy food, simple food. The first was oats, plain oats, no sugar, no excitement. I hated them at first, but they sat easy in my stomach. My blood pressure stopped jumping around. I didn't feel heavy after eating anymore. Then vegetables, mostly cooked, carrots, greens, things I used to push aside. They didn't make me feel strong. They just made me feel less tired. Third was fruit, 1 apple a day. Sometimes berries when we could afford them. It sounds ridiculous, but it felt like giving my body something clean after years of feeding it noise. The fourth was beans, cheap, filling, quiet food. They kept me steady when everything else felt unpredictable. And the fifth was soup, real soup, made slowly, not from a packet, broth, vegetables, sometimes a little meat, It felt like kindness in a bowl. None of this made me young again. That's important to say. Nothing reverses time, but it stopped the free fall. It gave me years I wasn't supposed to have. What hurts is that my wife didn't get those years with me the way I did with her. She passed before she ever saw me turn 90. Sometimes I think about how much better I treated my body after she was gone and how unfair that feels. There are things that can't be fixed. You can't go back and sit at the table longer. You can't undo the years you ate like you were in a hurry to be done with life. You can't apologize to someone who isn't here anymore. People think living this long must feel like winning. It doesn't. It feels like standing at the end of a long road and finally seeing all the turns you took without noticing. If you're listening to this and you're younger, I don't want to tell you what to do. I wouldn't have listened anyway. I just want you to know that the small choices count. Not because they make you successful, because they decide how much of yourself you'll have left later. Food isn't about rules. It's about respect for your body, for the people who will still be with you when the noise fades. I eat simply now because simple things are easier to hold on to. I don't eat to extend my life. I eat to make the remaining days gentler. There isn't much time left for me. I know that. I feel it in my bones. And that's all right. If this meant something to you, sit with it. You don't have to change everything. Just don't assume there will be more time. That assumption is the most expensive thing I ever consumed. If you want to stay and listen to more stories like this, you can subscribe. I won't be here forever, but while I am, I'll keep telling the truth as best I can. And if you're willing, leave a comment, not for me, but for the version of you that might one day wish they had paused a little longer.